There we go. I was trying to figure out what was going on with that right there. Sorry about that. But yeah, welcome to Iggy's Fantasy and Betting. We are here. This is episode 347. Blows my mind sometimes. Can't believe that happened. Gonna have a pretty quick show today. Week 6, first week's a bye week. So if you have players in the bye, get them out of your lineup right now. Keep an eye on that, monitoring for it. We got some injuries coming up. There's some game time decisions. Let's keep an eye on that. There are several people already designated out. Make sure you have those people in your IR spot or if whatever designation you're allowed. Kind of blows my mind that somebody that's out can't be put on IR in fantasy. But, there's all kinds of takes on it. Some people don't even like the IR spot. I think, having 2 or 3 is pretty viable if you want to keep your team in order. And let's see here. All right, I guess I'm not live on Twitter, so no big deal there. We'll keep going. Today let's just go ahead and start it off by reading off some of these games, man. I'm going to go ahead and, oh my gosh, so many errors. We do have a pretty good slate of games today. I do know in the early slot, Tampa Bay versus the Steelers is a big one that they're trying to highlight. We also have the Jets at the Green Bay Packers. The Jets are 3-2. Packers are 3-2. So say what you want, but it's a pretty good opportunity right there for everybody. And let's see here. Yeah, like I said, we got Tampa Bay at Steelers, 49ers at Atlanta, Baltimore at the Giants, Jets at Green Bay, as we discussed, Vikings at Dolphins, Patriots at Cleveland, Jacksonville at the Colts. Good division battle we got going right there. That's probably going to be a better game than people want to admit. And then we have Carolina, LA in the afternoon games. It's the start of the afternoon games. Arizona's at Seattle. Pretty tight line on that one if you're looking for kind of an evens bet to look at. Look no further than Cardinals at Seahawks. Buffalo at Kansas City, kind of guaranteed to be a shootout for everybody here. And then wrapping it up with Dallas at the Eagles tonight. Pretty good game. And then we have the Broncos going to the Chargers, man. They built Russ up. He's staying optimistic. I really – you got to enjoy being able to see the optimism of Russell Westbrook, Russell Wilson, because not too many people, are going to stay that optimistic in tough times. And I think it is true that he has to be optimistic. I mean, look, they've got new owner, new head coach. He's a new quarterback. Offensive linemen are new all over the place. So I just think it's kind of a good point to make that he has to be optimistic. He has no choice on it. All right. Some of the early spreads, Bucks have a 10-point spread against the Steelers to start the game. That line's at -450. The lines have moved a little bit. The Vikings-Dolphins line was closer. It's at -170 plus 145. Bengals -170 plus 45 against the Saints. The Patriots and the Browns lines at plus 120. Man, sorry about the mic issue, guys. Didn't see that happening. A little bit of technical difficulties today. I just read all the lines. So if you're just now tuning in or if you have been tuning in, I'm so sorry about that. Let's see here. Really, man, I don't have a whole lot going on in this episode, really. Just like I said, make sure your bye weeks are out. From a fantasy perspective, Justin Jefferson, of course, going against the, DFS lineup, going against the Dolphins. There's a lot of potential there. So take a look at that if you get an opportunity. Baltimore Giants, I think it could be a little lower scoring than people are anticipating. Lamar's been on fire. Mark Andrews has been on fire. So that's always, a possibility. I think the Atlanta Falcons versus San Francisco 49ers could be a little closer than people are expecting. San Francisco has 3 or 4 people that are already out that were starters at the beginning of the year. So, keeping, Williams, Garoppolo, Mosley, Bosa, those aren't like just names that, those are names everybody knows. So just keep an eye on that as well. Is George Kittle 100%? I don't know. Playing in Atlanta, Arthur Smith is going to be bringing it, so we'll see what's going on right there with that. All right. I do have my bets highlighted on the bottom, actually. Pickens over 49.5 receptions. Shout out to TD. He's the one that kind of brought it to our attention this morning. A negative 110 to Jay Love. Julian Love, that's tackles and assists. He's at 5.5, so make sure you check that out. I think that's at negative 135. Oh, it moved to negative 140 right now, so it's already moving on the line. And then just building a fun 3-game parlay. I do it on PointsBet because I get a boost every time. I got Cleveland, Minnesota, and Baltimore on the money line, and I think that'll be pretty interesting to see how that goes. Okay. Like I said, didn't have a guest this show. I want to make sure that you're subscribed if you get a chance to check out the Patreon, the YouTube, Twitter, all that stuff. I've been teaching up with WagerWire, so go check them out. Not even part of this show per se, but I'm pretty happy to be a part of that. Alrighty, IDP wise, let me take a look right here. I have it up for you. I know I've got one person. I think Seattle has a better chance to control that game than people want to admit. So with that kind of mindset, honestly, I went with Zach Allen. I think he's going to be a good start defensively for the IDP categories. I think he's had 14 tackles and 2 sacks the past 2 weeks. So he's really been putting a lot of pressure. JJ Watt's not 100%. Marquise Golden hasn't had that big game to kind of launch him forward. I don't know what Vance Joseph is doing. I just had to admit it, but I just have no clue. All right. Wise, New England playing against the Browns. Like I said, I think they're going to control the clock. So take a look there. Hubbard, he's been Sam Hubbard's been pretty quiet this season. I think there's potential for him to get a sack in the Saints game. I just think that doesn't matter who they're rolling out there. There's going to be an opportunity for him to make a couple big plays. On the linebacker front, I like Lloyd and Foyo Lucon if you're playing against the Colts. I think the Colts are, even without Jonathan Taylor, are going to attempt to, control the clock. Those guys are stud linebackers. They're not giving me any of their tackle props this week, so I'm a little disappointed on that. Then we have Holcomb. He already played. So Drew Greenlaw, San Francisco, he's had over 10 tackles in each of his last 3 games. When I look at the tape at him, he's just blind to the ball. It's like he knows the snap count. He's anticipating the play. You got to love all that, man. You love seeing that. Woolen against Seattle, I think he could be a good play this week against Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's pretty good, but he's having to run around, scramble. Woolen's got some wheels. He's proven that he's a good rookie. Julian Love, we've already talked about him. He's the tackle prop of the week. He's been steady the entire season. He's becoming a cornerstone for that defense. 33 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. The Ravens have been controlling the pace with long drives. They should allow Love for 6+ tackles with a couple passes defended, playing. Brisker, he already played. Bosa, he's out. Those are the outs for the week. Bosa, when I wrote this, they were trying to hype him up as if he's going to play. Take an easy seat there. Bradley Chubb, Denver, he was the number 1 scorer in IDP last week at 33.25 points, led by 2.5 sacks. It's not going to be that easy to bring Herbert to the ground. So go ahead and pine him or look other ways. Malik Walker, like when I said when I wrote this, I didn't know if they were going to play him or not. He's on the pine. Deontay, Jones, Deion Jones, whenever he's in Cleveland now, there's a lot of hype. Everybody's like, go get him, go play him. Guess what? He's not active, so don't play him. Deshaun Elliott's on the bye. And then Dantzler from Minnesota, he's had a very impressive week. Season thus far, 30 tackles, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery. Take it easy against Miami. I think this might actually be a game script. They hand the ball off a lot. So, there you go. You have it for some IDP plays. IDP leagues are fun. If you're not playing in one, I think you should be playing in one. But with that being said, not a whole lot to say on this episode. I'm going to go ahead and close it down. Get ready for the Sunday action coming up. I want to say thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to working with you guys. You got any questions, IDP, offensive betting, send them over to me, man. I'd be glad to help everybody. Once again, thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful day. Have success to your team, and I'll see you shortly.